find the market equilibrium point. So in order to find the market equilibrium point, we need to find the intersection of these two equations. Alright? So the first equation, P plus 2Q equals 100. So we write as P equals to, shift the 2Q to the right, we have P equals to 100 minus 2Q. Let's say this is equation 1. And then the second equation we have been given as 3P equals to Q plus 125. So here we use the substitution method in order to find the intersection point. So we will substitute P with 100 minus 2Q into equation 2. Alright, substitute 1 into 2. So substitute P with 100 minus 2Q here. So we have 3P, P is 100 minus 2Q equals to Q plus 125. Okay, so rearrange, expand the left hand side. We have 3 times 100, 300, 3 times negative 2Q is negative 6Q equals to Q plus 125. So shift the negative 6Q to the right and move 125 to the left. We have 300 minus 125 is 175. On the right hand side, Q plus 6Q equals to 7Q. So since 7Q equals to 175, then we can say Q equals to 175 divided by 7. The answer is 25. Alright? In order to find the value of P, we substitute the value of Q equals to 25 into equation 1 here. Alright, so we have P equals to 100 minus 2Q, so Q substitute with 25. 25 times 2 will give us 50. 100 minus 50 will give us 50. So the market equilibrium point is in the form of QP. Remember QP, not PQ. Alright, so Q is 25 and P equals to 50. Okay. Right, next let's look at the cost and revenue functions. Right. So what is a fixed cost actually? So fixed costs are costs which are independent of production level, meaning that a fixed cost are costs which are fixed. Alright, for example, rental and then insurance, alright, and salary and so on. Okay, so these are costs where it is not dependent on the production level. Okay, next we have variable costs. The variable costs are costs which vary according to production level. Yeah, the more we produce, the more overtime we have to pay, the more will be the cost of the raw materials. Okay, then total cost will be equals to fixed cost plus variable cost. Yeah, so total cost of a particular product produced by a factory, for example, will be equals to the fixed cost incurred by the factory plus the variable cost. Okay, next, revenue means, right, we take the selling price times quantity of products sold. Right, the unit price refers to the selling price of 1 unit of the product times the quantity. Okay, which is R equals to P times Q. Alright, and finally we have total profit. So profit P equals to revenue minus cost. Okay, so we can write as P equals to R minus C, where C is the cost, R is the revenue. Okay, right, let's look at example 11. A factory produces a product worth 200 ringgit. The cost of raw materials and labor is 30 and 15 ringgit per unit respectively. The fixed costs are given as 100,000 ringgit. Okay, so we are asked to find the function for profit. And second question, what is the profit if 10,000 units are sold? So what we need to do first is to find, in order to find the function for profit, so profit, remember, equals the revenue minus cost. So therefore we have to find first the cost. Right, so we start off with variable cost. So variable cost, we take the variable cost here, which is the raw materials and labor. So 30 per unit times the number of quantity Q plus 15 per unit times the quantity of products produced. So therefore we have 30Q plus 15Q equals to 45Q. Next, the total cost equals to variable cost plus fixed cost. So the variable cost we have found as 45Q plus the fixed cost is 100,000. Alright? And next, to find the revenue equals to P times Q. So P is the selling price per unit, which is 200 ringgit here. So 200 times quantity Q. So will give us 200 Q. So therefore the profit is equals to revenue minus cost. So revenue is 200Q minus the cost is 45Q plus 100,000. So expand this bracket. So negative times 45Q is negative 45Q. So 200 minus 45 will give us 155Q. So negative times 100,000 is negative 100,000. So this is the profit function that the question asks us to find. Alright. So question B, if 10,000 units of the products are sold, then what is the profit? So we just substitute into the profit function. Substitute Q with 10,000. So we will have 155, substitute 10,000 here minus 100,000. So 155 times 10,000 will give us 1,550,000 minus 100,000 is equals to 1,450,000 ringgit.